This is exactly how I attracted my first web design clients without ever sending a cold email or DM. And no, this is not clickbait. It wasn't a lucky coincidence or a family friend. This is a repeatable method that I've been using for the past 3 years to attract all of my clients. So if you're watching this and thinking about starting your own business and wondering how the hell you're going to attract all your clients, or maybe you even have your business and you're just tired of doing all this cold outreach, you probably clicked on this video hoping to find out the secret formula. But first, let me paint you a picture of how it started. So I wake up 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning. First thing I do, reach for my phone, of course, because I'm addicted, and I see 17 notifications from people in my inbox wanting to work with me. This was the first moment in my business that I breathed a physical sigh of relief and thought, I am actually going to make this thing work. When you experience this, and I really hope you do if you're watching this video, this is going to be a great moment for you. Since then, I have had a steady stream of clients in my inbox, and so in this video, I'm going to show you the exact steps I took in the 2 months leading up to this moment. So up to this point, I'd been working as a freelance designer for a couple of years. All of my work came from a small network of non-profit clients that I built up, and I was just doing everything: logos, illustrations, flyers. I would maybe earn $1,000 a month doing this, and that was a good month for me. But when I decided that I really wanted to take this thing seriously and start working with higher budget clients, first thing I had to do was completely shift my mindset. So step 1, position yourself as the expert. The first thing you need to do is shift your identity from freelancer to business owner. A freelancer is someone who sits there with their long list of services that they offer, and they wait for clients to come to them and order off their menu and tell them exactly how they want things done. But when you're a business owner, you're the expert. You're there to get your client a result, and so it's your job to design a service that gets this result and then communicate it effectively to your client. So the first thing you need to do is get really specific on what you do, who you serve, and what result you get them. And so I stopped offering everything and got really specific on the service that I offered, which in my case was brand and web design services. I decided to offer 2 different packages, one being a brand identity, the other being a fully custom brand and web design. And I know a lot of you may be sat there thinking, I don't want to limit what I offer, or I don't want to miss out on clients because I'm only offering this one service. But trust me when I say the less services you have and the more specific you are, the easier it is to attract clients. You are for sure losing clients by trying to offer everything to everyone. When you try to offer everything, you end up like that restaurant that has too many options on the menu. If I'm going to go and get sushi, I'm going to go to the place that specifically serves sushi because I know it's going to be better than the restaurant that serves everything. And at the same time, I'm going to be happy to pay more for it because I know it's going to be good and the price is justified. And so once you have your service, you need to get really clear on who you serve and what result it gets them, and then summarize this in one sentence to make it as easily understandable as possible. For example, it can be as simple as using this structure: service, helping audience to get dream outcome. Now, again, the more specific you can be with this, the better, but do not get caught up overthinking this. The idea of defining your niche can really paralyze a lot of people, and it's really not something that you need to start out with straight away. I want you to know that it's okay to start with a broad audience and then narrow it down over time. In fact, this is the best way to do it as you get to know your audience. So for now, while you're unclear on your niche, don't try to overthink it or be clever, just be very clear. This could really be as simple as saying web design to help you attract and convert your dream clients. This leaves no doubt in my mind about what you do and whether it applies to me. And so step 2 is scrap your portfolio website and create a sales machine. Portfolio websites are great when you're trying to get a job, but when you're trying to land a client, you need a sales website. If I'm a client and I'm coming onto your website and all I'm seeing are random design projects with no real context or audience, and a load of text saying, I've always had a passion for this, and I love doing this, and I studied this, and no one cares. All I want to know is how you help me and how you make me money. And so I should have the answer to these 2 questions within seconds of coming onto your website. Then everything else on your website needs to be talking to me as the client, clearly displaying your services, telling me how they help me, answering any questions that I have, and then telling me exactly what you want me to do next. Whether that's reaching out via the contact form or booking in a call, everything on your website needs to be guiding me towards that action. If you're unsure how to structure this or write the content for your website, then I have these website copy templates below in the description that are going to give you a clear breakdown of the different sections that you need on each page with copy prompts and examples. So definitely check these out. Then any portfolio projects that you're displaying on your website need to demonstrate the type of clients that you want to book. Get rid of all your passion projects. Do not bulk out your portfolio with low quality work. Less is more here. It's far better to only have 2 to 3 high quality projects that give your clients a clear image of what you can do for them. They don't have to be real clients. They can just be mock-ups that you put together. You can use Figma to do this, and then you can even turn one of these designs into a working website. You can check out that other video that I have here to choose an easy no-code website builder to help you do this. The idea of your portfolio is that you end up with a curated gallery that gives your client an idea of who you work with and what you can do for them. And then step 3 is schedule content creation into your week. You have to build an audience. As any creative or business owner, you need a personal brand. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this isn't going to be slow and time consuming at first, but the benefit of doing this over spending hours on cold outreach is that you're building up leverage for the future. You're making an investment right now that's going to pay off huge in the long term if you stick with it. Attention is everything. When you have people's attention, you can use that to do anything you like. Even if you're doing cold outreach, you're going to be far more successful if you reach out to someone and then they go on your page and see that you have helpful content and a small audience that's going to build your credibility. And so my advice would be to pick one platform. It doesn't matter which. I chose TikTok, but depending on your audience, you might choose LinkedIn or Instagram or even Facebook. I genuinely believe that you can find success on any one of these platforms as long as you pick one and stick to it. Focus on creating valuable content that demonstrates your expertise, shows your client that you know what you're talking about, and shows them how you get them the results that they want. This is the number one thing that's going to grow your business, so you have to make it a weekly, non-negotiable habit to put out content. If it's not in your calendar, you're not doing it. So figure out how much quality content you can make consistently on a weekly basis and then stick to that, and don't try to do more than that. It's far better to put out 3 TikToks a week consistently than try to post 10 TikToks, 5 Reels, 10 story posts, 25 tweets, and a YouTube video all in one week. The reason people struggle to be consistent with this is that they try to do too much. You have to just focus on the bare minimum that you can do and build up that habit, and then you can diversify later on. And the last thing you need to remember is that you do not need a large audience to book clients. All you need is a growing audience. You never know who's watching your content. 200 views is still enough to book that first client, especially if you're providing high quality, value-packed content that demonstrates your expertise to your potential client. And then step 4 is non-needy networking. So this is something that I really recommend doing as you're building up your audience, especially if you want to speed up this process. This is the alternative to sliding into DMs saying, I'll build a website, pay me, which does not work. You know who you are, stop doing that. Non-needy networking is just about getting to know your audience. It's replying with thoughtful comments, sending them messages genuinely showing an interest in what they're doing with no agenda. You're just trying to get to know what they're trying to do, what goals they have, what they're struggling with right now, and then offer them value that will really help them. You're not asking for anything. You're just putting yourself in front of someone and leaving a positive impression so that you're the first person that comes to mind if they ever need someone in the future. And the added benefit of doing this is that the more conversations like this that you have, the more you can directly tailor your offer to specifically solve their problem. This is when you start making the real money, when you can speak to your audience in their own words and offer them a solution that they want and will genuinely help them. So to recap, to get your first web design client, the steps you need to take are: get very clear on what you offer, who you work with, and how you help them. Optimize your website for sales. Start creating content and network and build connections with your audience. These are the best ways to not only land your first client, but consistently attract clients that come to you instead of spending hours on cold outreach. And so if you found this video helpful, let me know in the comment. And if you're just starting your web design journey or want to level up your processes, then check out the links in my description.